Hi everyone, it's Wendy here. I haven't made a video for a little while because I've been a little preoccupied. My beloved has been in hospital for the past week after having bypass open heart surgery, and he's had complications with his breathing, and he's had to have 2 blood transfusions, and he's still got fluid on the lungs and they can't quite figure out why. So he might have to have some x-rays to see if there's more blockages, which of course we're hoping with all our hearts that there's not blockages there still. So it's been a very testing time for me, and I've had to make sure that I don't make up stories. And that's what I'd like to talk about today, because we're very good at making up stories, the what ifs. What if I lose my job? What if I get sick? What if I don't have enough money? For me, it's been very important to not think, what if he dies? Ugh. So, you just can't do it. You've got to grab hold of your brain and stop it and put all the good what ifs in there. What if you don't lose your job? What if you have lots of money? What if you have great health? And think about those things all the time. For me, I'm thinking about him coming home and, having a lovely time together and going back walking the dogs on the beach where we go, and just thinking of all the real good things. And hope, because hope actually changes your brain into, look it up, Google what happens to your brain when you have hope. It's really interesting. It has all these neurological things that occur in your brain that actually make you feel, not just make you feel better, but they give you more clearer thinking. And I forget, I looked it up anyway. I'm not very good at remembering those things. I just know what it does. I know that it makes you feel better when you hope. So I've just been hoping the whole time. And the other thing to be very aware of is not making up stories. We can make up so many stories in our brain about things that we think, things that we fear that might happen. And Deepak Chopra always says to stop and ask yourself, is this the truth, or am I just making myself more frightened? And pretty much most of the time, or all the time, you're just making yourself more frightened by thinking thoughts like that. When you've got a choice, you can turn your thinking into hope and focus on what you want to happen, not what you don't want to happen. And boy, I've had to do that all this week, to not go into terrible fear that he's going to stay sick or he's not going to come home, or, you just can't let your brain go there. You got to grab it and drag it back sometimes, kicking and screaming into what you want, not what you don't want. And a dear friend of mine this morning sent me a lovely message reminding me of hope, of what it does to your brain. She's more clever than me. She can remember all those things. I can't. I have to look it up. That's okay. So I get by. So if you take anything at all from this message today, remember to catch your brain when it goes off on its tangent of thinking about all the worries and all the problems, and go, hang on, what if I change that into hope? And what if I change that into thinking about what I really hope for, not what I don't hope for? So yeah, if you do that and you practice it, every day gets better. Bye now.